Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. So, today I want to talk about the sea voyage, and this is meant as a sort of realistic expectations, but also as a first impressions. And I also have some gameplay later on in the Moskva, which is very similar to one of the two prizes that you can actually get in this festive adventures, which will run from 15 GMT on the 21st of February up until 7 GMT on the 11th of March. So that is 20 days where it runs, so roughly 3 weeks. And this is nice since you have to obtain up to 8 marks of distinction, and this is done in steps by 2 days. So you have 48 hours time of completing one of the marks of distinction, and you have to get 9 up until the Leningrad. But first things first, you can win as prizes for marks of distinction the PBM3 Mariner Premium Rank 2 American float plane, which is seemingly related to the BE6, or let's say it looks like one, and obviously it has a lot of 12.7mm M2 Browning 50 cals and up to 8 1,000 pound bombs. So, and it has the premium status, which is nice. The big prize, quite literally here, is the destroyer Leningrad Premium Rank 3 USSR for 8 marks of distinction. And very interesting here, since I want to compare it to the Moskva, which is the same ship class, 5 130mm B-13 cannons, then torpedoes, and also protected by powerful anti-aircraft armament. I will talk about this later specifically because this might be the decisive difference to the Moskva. Then, for 2 marks of distinction profile icon, I guess this is Vladimir Putin in his young days. That was a joke. Don't take it serious. Especially you, Putin. I know you're watching. Then, for 3 marks of distinction, you get the first nose art. Then, for 4 marks, already the flying boat. And then, for then more nose art. And I think the nose art looks great, but that's a personal opinion. It doesn't have really value. Then for the destroyer Leningrad, you get it with 8 marks of distinction, and then you don't even have to get the 9 marks of distinction if you only want the ship. How to collect one? Well, you need to complete 3 out of the 5 available tasks for 1 marks of distinction. Again, 48 hours time, and it will update every second day at 11 GMT. So what are those marks of distinction, or the tasks for the marks? The first one is the easiest in my opinion. Cause 25 cumulative damage on the enemy whilst controlling naval battles in multiple battles. It takes me, 2.5 good battles to fulfill this. Because I can count on getting, in a good battle, 10,000 cumulative damage, regardless if I play a cruiser, destroyer, or patrol boat. So that is the important part. Then win 10 times in naval battles with an activity of 50% or higher. So it's not really a special event, but in normal naval battles, which is good for grinding, etc. Also no restriction to the vehicle type so far, and also the nation. Then the third one, it's a bit iffy. Capture 15 zones in naval battles whilst controlling aircraft or naval vessels in multiple battles. So yeah, you can actually capture your the far capture zone on a low tier battle with one of the flying boats, especially if there are no destroyers. This is one of the possibilities to get one of those capture zones. And in particular, even if you try with patrol boats, you can hope to get 2, maybe even 3 with a patrol boat. So if the battle is raging forwards and backwards, and you know your positioning and how to use the island cover, you can actually capture alone with the ships realistically 2 to 3 times. So it's again doable. The next 2 are actually, as far as I can see, linked with each other. Destroy 5 enemies using your torpedoes whilst controlling aircraft or naval battles, or naval vessels in multiple battles. My brain is too fast for my mouth. Sink 5 ships, either cruisers or destroyers in any combination, whilst controlling aircraft or naval vessels in multiple battles. So I would say you just take a plane and go for 5 destroyers or cruisers. Especially the people that already have the BTD-1 destroyers will cheer up. So there is no real restriction on the battle rating so far or the tier in those conditions. But here are the terms and conditions actually. So rank 2 to 4, so no rank 1 seal clubbing, and that is, I guess, for the better. But there is no battle rating restriction. Updated at 11 GMT every 2 days. Yeah, then the Leningrad destroyer will be given as a coupon. So this is together with this information here for the marketplace. Overall, I like here the idea of, you know, not restricting it to one plane and one ship for 2 separate events, but rather give it out as one event where you don't really have to end the battle in a specifically in a ship or a plane. So there are a lot of good things about it. Obviously, Gaijin's intention is to get people into naval battles, which is something that I approve. And I think it will be successful, since the Leningrad is a effective grinding machine as far as I can see. Obviously, we have to look at the multipliers and the SL and RP gain potential of it when it comes out. So I want to present the ship as fast as possible to you, as fast as I can get my hand on it. So yeah, there is that. The plane for me is a bonus as a collector, and you know, why not? It's certainly not a bad thing to have it in your hangar. You don't have to use it. For the destroyer, well, let's have a look at the gameplay, and let's have a look at the statistics in the hangar. So in the background you can see some gameplay from the Moskva that I just had, and I think it is very well representative of what the ship can do and what it can't do. Now, when I talk here about the Moskva, I also want to later point out the probably significant difference to the Leningrad. The Moskva, battle rating 4.3, rank 3. I think this will be the same for the Leningrad, although the Leningrad will have premium status. So the first that really jumps into my eye is the maximum speed of 80 kilometers per hour. That is really fast and really great. So no doubt about this. Then let's talk about the armor. The ship has actually no armor whatsoever, except for the main turrets, where it's hardened armor of 13 millimeters, but that's not really all that great. So we only have 2 guns firing forward, and the turning time for those guns is god awful. It's probably the worst trade for the Russians. While the Germans have also not the faster turret rotation speed, they at least have a high DPM, which the Leningrad and the Moskva, especially every Russian destroyer with the 130mm gun mountings, just don't have. They have 6 seconds compared to the Germans 3.6 and the Americans mostly 4.0 seconds. So you can see you have, well, not the most guns firing forward, only half to what some of your rivals have, especially the American Sumner class and some of the British classes. And then also you have to, you know, sacrifice the rate of fire. On the other hand, you know, those were the downsides. The upsides are that you have fairly accurate guns, up to medium range, and you have overall a great muzzle velocity of 870 meters for all 3 main caliber shell types. The first one is the AG, the OF-46, and the bursting charge is really great, 3.6 kilograms. That is really hard hitting. Then we have the PB-46A, that's the semi-armor piercing, with over 220 millimeters of penetration at point blank range. Again, great muzzle velocity of 870 meters and a massive burst charge of 2.35 kilograms. That really, really hurts. And with that semi-armor piercing, you can even punch through turtleback armor on the German light cruisers. And the ammunition is cheap with only 2 civilians per shot. The third shell type is the ZS-46R, which is a proximity fuse HE shell, so really great for anti-aircraft purposes. But the bursting charge goes down from 3.6 kilograms to just over 2 kilograms. On the other hand, you can snipe then obviously planes. But given the low turret rotation speed and the bad DPM that you already have, it's a bitter trade-off, so you only can use 2 shell types. On the other hand, this might be the major difference between the Moskva and the Leningrad, that the Leningrad has enhanced anti-aircraft capabilities. I guess it will be in its late war configuration. What that exactly means, I can only speculate, since I don't know in which configuration Gaijin brings it in. I only can guess that the best that this ship could get over the Moskva would be multiple 37mm gun mountings, such as on the Tashkent, because they have a high rate of fire, they do quite a lot of damage, they threaten aircraft to a large distance, as well as patrol boats, which compensates for the main gun's turret rotation speed, because the Moskva's drawback is that it doesn't have good anti-aircraft purposes, or capabilities rather, and as the auto guns next to the 45 and 76mm guns, you have only 8 12.7mm discs. So I guess this is a big portion of improvement that the Leningrad can potentially bring in versus the Moskva. When we look at the 76mm guns, they also have all 3 shell types, but the high explosive anti-aircraft shell is a distance fuse, so it is your normal flak shell, and this is something really unreliable, and the 45mm only has an HE shell. So this is what I expect from the Leningrad. I expect it to be fast, I expect it to be a hard hitter, but the guns will have a low DPM and terribly slow turret rotation speed. Another trade-off for those guns, in particular on the Moskva, is the gun firing arcs, which are terrible, and most of the time you can only bring 3 of the guns on target, forward only 2 as I said, and to give a full broadside, to expose the full broadside, to bring all 5 guns to bear, well then randomly one of the guns just would not align with the others, is just terrible. And I have looked at the stuff in battle, as you can see. For some bizarre reason, it's the last mounted gun mounting that doesn't really fully rotate to its visual limitations, like the superstructure of the super firing rear mounted turret. And also another thing is that the ship has, as I said, no armor, and the ammo rack is large, long, and easy to hit, as well as having no protection and being even above the waterline. So these are the bad sides of the Moskva. I think that the Leningrad will be similar, but only if the ship gets more 37mm. I'm okay with this, because that's already enough for me personally to deal then with the patrol boats. If I'm forced to go into the patrol boat area, I can more comfortably defend myself against aircraft, and yeah, also then hopefully take out the gun mountings of an enemy destroyer when he comes around the corner and my turrets are not just aligned, and I have to compensate for that in quite some other interesting ways. So this is my realistic expectation on the Leningrad. About the plane, I like it. 50 cals are always great. I think there is a ball mounting forward and a ball mounting in the back of the plane. It looks like a BE-6, impressive payload. Rank 2, it could be rank 3, I don't know about its flight characteristics, how it flies, how it stacks up to other bombers, but it's better than nothing, and it is suited for naval battles as well. So there you have it, and I think that's enough for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you forgive here the different microphone again, and also the rather tired sound, because I just finished work. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies, on the battlefields, and on the ways of War Thunder.